Ready to go? So hello, everybody. I'm assuming those at home are 6 feet away from me, and everybody here is, so I can safely take off my mask. I'm Steve Garfin. I'm the Dean of the School of Medicine. In the midst of these most trying of times, with COVID-19, people and leaders disparaging science, racism, killings, riots, the economy, families being pulled apart, hatred, fear, and whatever else you feel and see, we enthusiastically and with great joy welcome you to the UC San Diego School of Medicine. You made the big decision to go to medical school. Congratulations into getting into one of the best in the country. Excitement, doubts, fears, anxieties unrelated to the pandemic. I'm sure you have some or all of these feelings as you embark on the awesome responsibility of being a physician. That's normal. This is the start of your new quest to understand, learn, and become experts in medicine. You will explore, learn, and be introduced to the wonders of medicine, which are exploding. Patients give you their trust and hope you do the right and best for them. Over the years, you will ask many questions and be asked many harder ones. Rise to the challenge. Don't be threatened by it. Our goal is to get you there as best as we and you can. We can only provide the lattice work, which includes basic knowledge, how to think about and solve problems, and how to care for patients. You will do the rest, which involves a commitment to ongoing, lifelong self-learning. At the halfway mark through your medical school years, you will need once again to start making a huge decision. Which specialty to go into? Once again, you will ask yourselves, am I the right person? Where do I apply? How do I know if I know enough? Can I do it? Are my test scores, if we have test scores then, high enough? Have I done enough preparing? Is this the right decision? Just like you went through to get into our school. Though it may sound like a short time frame to make this decision, you will have the time, the help, and experience guidance needed to do it. No need to worry about that now. We will help you on this path. You earn the right to be here. Great job. We feel lucky to have you here, and we hope vice versa. We welcome you with our open arms. Well, I guess we can't do that. We have to do it with elbow bumps. Placing, and we're not even doing that, on you a white doctor's coat to get you started. So welcome here. I know you've had an orientation this week and have already started being exposed. Now let me invite Dr. Maria Savoia, Dean of Medical Education, to the podium. To me, she is not just a highly respected and ahead of the curve, a dean and colleague, but a friend, which helps us and you more than you can know. Mia?
Thank you, Dr. Garfin, and I too will now take off my mask and do it the right way from the ears so you don't touch the front. Before I get started, although you'll be hearing from a number of speakers today, there are a number of people we couldn't bring here, and we wanted to acknowledge those who don't have a speaking role but would be in the front row of a normal ceremony, because they want to send good wishes to you, our students, as you start your careers. They all hold special roles in your education, and we wanted to let you know who they are. So the first is Dr. Lena Lander. Dr. Lander is Associate Dean for Educational Technology, Innovation, and Assessment, and is now presiding over our new iPad initiative in the School of Medicine. All our first and second year students, for the first time, received iPads. Next, Dr. Maria Rosario, known to us as Happy Araneta, who is our Assistant Dean for Diversity and Community Partnerships. Samira Kazai, my right hand and the Assistant Dean of Educational Administration. Next, Neil Chi. Dr. Chi is the co-director of the Medical Science Training Program, along with Dr. Paul Insel, also the director for years, and he and I started at about the same time. He is the director of our Medical Sciences Training Program. Sarah Averbach. Sarah is the director of our Global Health Academic Concentration. And Dr. Luis Castellanos. Dr. Castellanos is the director of our program in healthcare education, promoting health equity. And last, but certainly not least, Dr. Alana Inglewitz. Dr. Alana is faculty in the Department of Psychiatry and also a very valued member of the Division of Medical Education, who has helped many of our students as they have embarked on this journey that is their medical career. I've already had the opportunity to welcome the class of 2024, the 52nd entering class of the UC San Diego School of Medicine, and one we know already will be a very distinguished class. But it is now my pleasure to welcome the parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, spouses, and significant others of that class, albeit virtually. We were about the third medical school in the country to have a white coat ceremony. Ours actually began in the early 90s, and I must say this is like no other. We have never done this before. But every cloud has a silver lining. Because of COVID and our inability to get together in person, we actually hope more of you are able to join, albeit virtually, and it's been easier for you to do so. We thank you for coming today to support our students and know you'll continue to support them throughout the incredible journey that awaits them. I know the students thank you too, and if we were in person, they would all now stand and salute you. And so we all now virtually salute you. No matter where you are, no matter where we are and they are, know we are all giving you a round of applause. Now, a few words to our new students. A wise man once said, and I have told this story before, that physicians need three things to have credibility: glasses, which imply wisdom; gray hair, which suggests experience; and hemorrhoids, to give one a concerned expression. Well, I don't have any of those things. I work hard at it, and I trust neither do most of you. But from here on, you will have what has become the most enduring symbol of a physician, the white coat. And because you wear that coat, people will trust you and respect you and allow you to do things to them that would land other people, quite frankly, in jail. Some people have actually denigrated the coat we wear as a symbol of arrogance and see it as a way that doctors distance themselves from patients. But numerous studies have shown that patients really don't see it that way. Wear your coat with the appropriate humility and not as a symbol of distance, but of the special relationship doctors have with their patients. There is a French proverb that I really like that says the role of a physician is to cure sometimes, to relieve often, and to comfort always. Good words, and words we should always keep in mind. We certainly cure now more than ever, and certainly more than when I went to medical school, but unfortunately we still can't cure everything. We can, however, always comfort, and cure without comfort still isn't complete. Being a doctor isn't easy and takes hard work and sacrifice. The road you have chosen as our students is a long one, and the learning never stops. But along the way, you will become skilled physicians. Wear these coats as a symbol of your resilience and of our faith in you. Know we chose you to be here, and we give you these white coats today and have you recite the Oath of Hippocrates because we have faith in each and every one of you. We also decided not to postpone this ceremony until we could all gather together in person because we want you to pledge to uphold those ideals of our profession from day one of medical school, not to wait till you graduate. And what are those principles? It's to take care of patients and treat everyone with dignity and respect, to care for everyone equally, regardless of diagnosis, race, ethnicity, or ability to pay, to understand and reduce the socioeconomic factors that lead to healthcare disparities, to work to prevent disease as well as to treat it to the best of your ability, and to always strive for excellence. Because you wear these coats, patients will trust you. You worked hard to get here, and your job now is to work harder to gain the knowledge, skills, and attributes that justify that trust. We are behind you 100%, and we know you will. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Kama Galuma, Associate Dean for Admissions and Student Affairs. Parents know he's the one who signed those letters admitting your loved one to the School of Medicine, and he, for this, deserves a very strong round of virtual applause. Dr. Galuma will be the MC for the rest of the ceremony. Dr. Galuma.
Thank you, Dr. Savoy. I, too, will take my mask off. I, too, would like to welcome you and thank you all for attending. Medicine is a challenging profession because at the same time it requires mastery of medical knowledge, we also expect physicians to uphold humanistic values and behaviors. Here at the UC San Diego School of Medicine, we recognize it is our responsibility to educate students both in medical knowledge and skills, and in humanism. Just as faculty and students may receive recognition for outstanding academic, clinical, and research accomplishments, so too can they receive recognition for exemplary behavior that promotes humanism in medicine. We have a tradition wherein we combine the white coat ceremony for the new entering medical students with 2 presentations regarding humanism in medicine. The first event is the presentation of the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award to a UC San Diego School of Medicine faculty member who best exemplifies humanism in medicine. The recipient of this award is nominated by peer faculty members. The second event will be the induction of a group of 4th-year medical students and current residents into the Gold Humanism Society, the Honor Society. The students and residents likewise were nominated by their peers for this recognition. At this time, I would like to introduce the recipient of this year's Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award, Dr. Linda Hill. Dr. Hill is a clinical professor in the Department of Family Medicine and Public Health at the University of California, San Diego, and the director of the UCSD San Diego State University General Preventative Medicine Residency. Dr. Hill currently practices at San Diego Family Care, a federal 330 community health center, where she served as medical director from 1980 to 2001, and has been the senior staff physician since 2001. She's the director of training, research, and education for Driving Safety Center, a nationally recognized driving safety center, the co-director of the Center for Human and Urban Mobility, the medical director of the Refugee Health Assessment Program, served as executive director for the Asylum Seeker Health Assessment Program, and directs research on numerous transportation safety initiatives. In addition to her clinical and research activities, she is a dedicated teacher, serving as a mentor for medical students, master's students, pre-doctoral students, and undergraduates, and her preventative medicine residents. Most recently, she has been instrumental in harnessing the efforts of medical students, researchers, and physicians for clinical care, research, and educational efforts in response to the COVID-19 crisis. Throughout these large efforts, Dr. Hill has never forgotten the importance of serving the individual patient. Nominated for this award by 8 separate faculty members, residents, and students, all cited her tireless and compassionate patient care. One stated, quote, "Her culturally competent primary care should be modeled by all primary care physicians," end quote. Another praised her dedication to bettering the lives of patients and cited her work as, quote, "consistently advocating for her patients, most underserved, especially when they may not have a voice loud enough to be heard," end quote. In her nominations, Dr. Hill is called, quote, "a role model of humanism and empathy," end quote. Quote, "nothing less than an exceptional human being," end quote. And the, quote, "embodiment of the values of the Tao Humanism Award," end quote. It is my honor to present Dr. Hill with the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award presented by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. We're doing this in a clean handoff. Congratulations.
Carlos was 3 years old when he left Guatemala with his parents and newborn sister. His 10-year-old cousin, despite being 4'8" and less than 100 pounds, had already been pressed into a gang. His parents feared for their son's fate and fled. When they boarded a bus in Mexico, they were robbed by a drug cartel of all their belongings. And yet they continued their journey north, joining thousands of others. As public health physicians in San Diego, we recognized that what was happening at the border was a humanitarian crisis. On December 24th, 2018, we assembled a team to screen and care for asylum seekers in partnership with Jewish Family Services. By April 2020, having seen 20,000 individuals with their own tragic stories, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The border with Mexico was shut to asylum seekers, and all of our lives changed forever. Just like Carlos and his family, many of the asylum seekers came from the violent northern triangle of Central America, where ordinary people are forced from their homes by roving armed gangs that threaten them and their children, particularly targeting those of Mayan descent. Children are forced into gangs where they face certain death, and especially egregious is the violence against women. Desperate to save their children and themselves, parents leave everything behind, carrying their kids on their back and their few belongings in plastic bags to head north. Their journeys are delayed by border politics, and their asylum claims are compromised by denial of their rights to a fair hearing. And our job through all of this has been to provide them with the best care that we can muster. In return, they have taught us about justice, courage, and human resilience in the face of unimaginable hardships. Thank you for the incredible honor in bestowing on me the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award. I follow many amazing awardees, and I'm humbled to join their ranks, including my mentor and dear friend, Martin Stein. But let's be clear. My award is shared with my incredible colleagues, residents, and students at UCSD, the staff of San Diego Family Care, and my partners in numerous NGOs like Catholic Charities and Jewish Family Services, who have made it possible to deliver health care to the neediest and often disenfranchised. I welcome this opportunity to share my thoughts with you, a captive audience, even if it's on video. It's a dream for a physician teacher, spouse, mother of 3 kids and 3 grandkids, not all of whom listen to me. Preparing to speak with you as you embark on your career in medicine, I thought back on my own experiences in the 1970s at the University of Ottawa in Canada. From these, I'd like to share 3 main lessons. Lesson 1. You never know what will be useful information or where it will come from. In microbiology, we were taught about tropical diseases, including leprosy, malaria, and parasites, from ascariasis to amoebiasis. Planning a career in Canada, I found the material interesting, but only from an academic point of view. After all, in the days before climate awareness of today, what Canadian thinks they will ever treat tropical exotic disease? Little did I expect my career path would bring me to San Diego shortly after the fall of Vietnam, where in response to an influx of Indo-Chinese refugees to San Diego, I would embark on a 40-year practice of refugee medicine. Within a few months of my arrival here, I diagnosed leprosy in a Lao refugee who presented with a numb rash on the back of her hand, and malaria in a 7-year-old whose tooth abscess nearly masked the symptoms. To this day, I thank my microbiology professor for teaching me what I didn't think I'd have to know. Lesson 2. Everyone deserves access to high-quality health care. Training in Canada, I never saw a patient turned away for inability to pay. I never had to alter my medical recommendations based on insurance status. I never heard of a patient or patient's family going bankrupt from medical bills. Struck by these healthcare inequities, I joined a nonprofit community health center in San Diego, where I've stayed in practice since 1980, even during my residency. Lesson 3. The battles you fight today may not completely solve the problem, but they're still worth fighting. For example, the women in our class were among the first to organize a student-led women's studies group. This was long before women's studies was a major, when family planning was still evolving and abortion access was still illegal in Canada. As the next generation of physicians, we saw our role in advocacy and the need to stand up for societal change. We fought for civil rights and reproductive rights, attended climate change lectures, which in those days was called the science of ecology. The battle for LGBTQ rights was just around the corner. These issues may sound all too familiar, but I can assure you we've made progress, though many more changes are needed. So fight for what you believe in. Well, my medical school training was the foundation for my career, and much of my education started there, and soon to be yours. What I've learned the most has come from both my patients and my students. From them, I've learned the 4 core principles of ethical care. First, autonomy. Listen to your patients and respect them. Each individual has the right to control their health care based on their values and wishes. I learned the principle of autonomy early in my career when Mrs. V, a Hmong woman from Laos, declined leukemia care for the cancer she couldn't see, and our best efforts to change her mind, including involving the Hmong community leaders, were futile. She died under her own terms, surrounded by family. The second, non-maleficence. Do no harm. You will make mistakes. I'm confident that you will strive to be sure your errors are not due to neglect, laziness, or malintent. You will be taught how to minimize errors, and the system is designed to prevent them. You will learn how to own your mistakes, and you'll learn the importance of acknowledging errors to your supervisors, and more importantly, to your patients. You'll grow from them and hopefully learn to forgive yourself for your humanness and, yes, imperfection. This lesson is the hardest. I continue to care for Mr. D, whose cancer diagnosis should have come to me faster. His forgiveness came quickly, but the forgiveness of myself has been slow and difficult. Third, beneficence. Do good. Dr. B, a preventive medicine resident, stepped up immediately when the pandemic hit. Building on her public health and clinical skills, as well as the skills she had acquired before becoming a physician, she led the establishment of a shelter for COVID-19 infected homeless individuals with the San Diego Public Health Department. Her tireless work and courage helped numerous vulnerable and scared community members, and she embodies the principle of beneficence. Lastly, justice. We do not need to look far to recognize the need for justice in all of its forms. If anything, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has brought the issue of inequity to the national and international stage. These inequities have led to real, measurable, yet preventable differences in health outcomes, and painfully under our watch. The Black Lives Matter movement is galvanizing us to finally talk about making systemic changes in the fight for equality, equity, and the establishment of a racism-free society. In closing, you are starting medical school in a highly turbulent time. However, with these disruptions comes the opportunities to be a catalyst for change. When you see injustice, speak up, act, use the skills you already have and the ones you're going to acquire in the next 4 years, your wisdom, and most importantly, your courage. There is still much left to do as you pledge today for a better and more just world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hill, for your inspiring comments. Thank you so much. I would like to now introduce Dr. Michelle Johnson, clinical professor from the Department of Family Medicine and Public Health. Dr. Johnson is a UC San Diego School of Medicine graduate, a beloved teacher, and director of the UCSD Student Run Free Clinic project. Dr. Johnson was the 2014 recipient of the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award. She serves as the faculty advisor to the UC San Diego chapter of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Dr. Johnson will lead the induction of this year's Gold Humanism Honor Society members.
Good afternoon. It's an absolute privilege to be here today, recognizing the class of 2024, as well as inducting the newest members of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. I have had the privilege of working with many of the students and residents being honored today, and I can speak firsthand about the integrity, passion for serving others, and clinical excellence that these students embody. So it's a privilege to induct them into the Honor Society today. We induct them today at your white coat ceremony to hopefully provide inspiration and role models in humanism as you begin your journey in medicine. But before I induct them, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about the Gold Humanism Honor Society, how these individuals were chosen, and what they will do with this distinction. The Gold Humanism Honor Society is a national organization that recognizes medical students, residents, and physicians who demonstrate exemplary behavior that promotes humanism in medicine. Humanism in medicine is caring for people rather than treating disease. It is caring for the suffering of others by showing respect, compassion, empathy, as well as by being sensitive to the autonomy and cultural values of others. The humanistic doctor or trainee has integrity, is clinically excellent, altruistic, and service-minded. I can stand here today and say with absolute confidence that each of the individuals being honored today exhibits these qualities, and I am proud to practice medicine alongside of them. As we confront the pandemics of COVID-19 and racism, I believe the need for compassion and humanism is more clear than ever, and these students are actively engaged in addressing these issues, and I'm inspired by their efforts. These students were selected by peers and endorsed by the faculty, and today will become lifelong members of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Our UCSD School of Medicine chapter of the national organization has been recognized as exemplary, which is the highest ranking a chapter can receive. This ranking is well-deserved because of our incredible students and their work. This year, the group of amazing students being recognized today will work on projects that promote humanism in medicine here at UCSD School of Medicine. Already, they're working on implementing anti-racism curricula, providing mentorship and peer support, as well as by supporting a blog that shares stories of humanism, as well as many other projects. So please join me from your home with a round of applause in congratulating these very deserving inductees. Now I'm going to read the names of each of the medical students that are being inducted into the Honor Society today. EKENE AKABIKE. Betiel Asmaram. ALICIA ASTURIAS. KILIAN BURKE. ALICIA CALLEJO-BLACK. Jonathan CUNHA. Rebecca DEHNEL. MILLI DESAI. Oh, with her newborn. Jessica Dominguez. Sutton Fox. Mary Gamboa. Rebecca Gold. Chelsea Jones. Saniya KISHNANI. DASHA KLEBANER. Austin Marshall. Maggie MEAGHER. PAYTON AUTTUM. TAMMY PHAM. Simone Phillips. Cecilia RANGEL-GARCIA. David Rosas. Victoria Speck. Eric Torres. Kyle Ud Garnica. Sierra Virtue. Caress Bong. And Taylor Wrinkle. Those were the medical students being honored today, and now we'll move to the residents being honored today. Dr. Kirsten Garcia from the Department of Pediatrics. Dr. Diana Ha from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Andrew Hanawi from the Department of Neurology. Dr. Praneet Mailavarapu, from the Department of Medicine. Dr. Meera Raghunathan from the Department of Surgery. And Dr. Morrison Steele from the Department of Psychiatry. And lastly, as you just heard, our faculty inductee today is Dr. Linda Hill from the Department of Family Medicine and Public Health. So now we're going to conclude this part of the ceremony by citing the oath of the Gold Humanism Honor Society together. So students, please join us. Inductees, please join us and repeat after me. I pledge by all that I hold dear as a physician.
I pledge by all that I hold dear as a physician.
I will care for my patients with compassion, respect, empathy, integrity, and clinical excellence.
I will care for my patients with compassion, respect, empathy, integrity, and clinical excellence.
I will listen to my patients with my whole being.
I will listen to my patients with my whole being.
I will advocate for each patient as a unique individual.
I will advocate for each patient as a unique individual.
I will serve as a role model and mentor to promote humanism in healthcare.
I will serve as a role model and mentor to promote humanism in healthcare.
I will remember always the healing power of acts of caring.
I will remember always the healing power of acts of caring.
I will dedicate myself to joining with others to make healthcare optimal for all.
I will dedicate myself to joining with others to make healthcare optimal for all.
So please join me in congratulating the newest members of the UC San Diego's Gold Humanism Honor Society. And this concludes this part of the ceremony, and I'm happy to turn it back to Dean Galuma.
Thank you so much. It is our tradition to have an active member of the UC San Diego National Medical Alumni Board to address our entering students. This year, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Daniel Blanchard. Dr. Daniel Blanchard, a graduate from our school in the class of 1985. Dr. Blanchard is a professor of medicine in the Division of Cardiology and the director of the Cardiology Fellowship Training Program. Dr. Blanchard currently serves as the president of the National Board of Directors for the UC San Diego School of Medicine Alumni Association. Please join me in welcoming him.
Welcome to you all. I'm here as a representative of the alumni of this medical school, something that you will be in about 4 years, except the MSTPs, who knows when they're going to graduate. Speaking for the alumni, we're very happy that you're here, even though this meeting is virtual this year. To the parents and families, you must be so proud of these young people and at the same time relieved, right? They're going to have a job, an actual career. They may even support you in your old age. I wouldn't count on that. Just a few years ago, they were little kids and now they're all grown up in medical school. Can you believe it? Well, wonders never cease. To the parents, there's not one of us here who hasn't worried about having a slothful child. I want to reassure you, and you already know, there are none of those children here today. Without focus, drive, and a good heart, kids just don't make it this far. So good work, Mom and Dad. Your children are our best hope for our own medical care, as well as that of the next generation. So to the students, study hard. I might be one of your patients. Parents, thank you for raising children who are willing to take on this mantle. To the students, congratulations, good work. The goal of medicine will soon be in your grasp. The next 4 years are going to be hard, but you'll see things you haven't dreamed of. It'll be difficult work, but we already know you can do that. So today you receive your white coats. Why do we do this? What do these white coats mean? When you put on the white coat, you become one of the brave few who are sworn to help their fellow man and woman. You are saying in front of your families and all of us, I will be on my patient's side. As my profession, I will move toward my patients and their problems and not away. First, I will do no harm, primum non nocere. Next, I will do my best to cure, to stave off illness, and when I no longer can, I will ease my patient's suffering. This white coat is a visible sign of this promise that you make freely and upon your honor. It's a big request, but we needed to do it. In this COVID era, your oath becomes even more poignant and personal. You are entering medicine at an unsteady time with dark waves all around. It's my sincere hope that COVID will abate before you enter your clinical rotations, but it may not. So you will need to stay true and focused on your course. I recently got an email from a resident physician who wants to be a cardiologist at UCSD. He had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a form of cancer, as a teenager, and it caused a buildup of fluid around his heart that in the past would have killed him. The cardiologist who took him to the operating room held his arm and said, "You will get through this." She then used a long needle, about that long, to drain the fluid around the young man's heart, and she saved his life. That was 10 years ago, and he is cured and doing well. So congratulations from the alumni. Good luck on your journey through med school, and after you graduate, please keep in touch. Wherever you end up, you will always be alumni of UC San Diego School of Medicine, and we are already proud of you. And as that doctor said, you will get through this.
Thank you, Dr. Blanchard. As the class of 2024 joins the UC San Diego School of Medicine community, its members also join a larger community of physicians. We're pleased to have Dr. Holly Yang with us today. Dr. Holly Yang graduated from Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine, completed her residency in internal medicine at the University of Minnesota, and her fellowship in hospice and palliative medicine at San Diego Hospice and the Institute for Palliative Medicine. Dr. Yang is the president of the San Diego County Medical Society. Please extend a warm welcome to her.
Welcome to all of you, friends, family, and most of all, students of the class of 2024. It is an honor to be able to address you on this important day. My name is Holly Yang, and I'm the 150th president of the San Diego County Medical Society. I'm also a hospice and palliative medicine physician and internist who cares for patients across our county. The white coat ceremony is an important tradition in medicine, marking your entry into our shared profession. While it is a bit untraditional this year, I am pleased to be taking part virtually and want to thank all the faculty and those people working behind the scenes to make it happen. I don't have to tell you that you are entering a noble profession at a difficult time, a time when healthcare workers have been tested physically, emotionally, and existentially, a time when people are afraid to seek out healthcare because of COVID-19 or even leave their homes, a time when medical misinformation and anti-science rhetoric on social media and in the public sphere is frustrating and exhausting at best, a time when the suffering caused by illness, financial strain, racism, ageism, and ableism seems overwhelming. And yet it is exactly in the hardest times we as physicians and the members of our interprofessional teams rise up to meet the challenge. I want you to take a moment and recall why you decided to go into medicine, the deep intention you hold in your heart for your life's work. See if you can reflect on that today and in the days to come. Hold on to that intention throughout your career. It will help keep you focused and stay grounded. By entering medical school and putting on your white coat, you are now part of and represent our profession. Your words and actions reflect on medicine as a whole, whether the public sees us as trustworthy or not, whether we are viewed as compassionate or not, whether someone feels that they are seen and heard and treated fairly or not. With this title comes privilege and responsibility. You are joining our community when there is rightly an increased awareness of our past and current failures in treating all people equally. And I hope you will embrace helping us to create a more just healthcare system and world. I know you are bringing your best selves, and so I have great hope. As a medical student and as a physician, I hope you know that you are part of helping not only the patient in front of you heal and live well, but we have a greater role to help patients' families in our communities. Some of you already have, and I want to give a shout out to those of you who volunteered with us at the Medical Society to distribute PPE to small and medium San Diego physician practices last month. Thank you for taking care of us, even as you are joining our community. We are really grateful. I know each of you will contribute to the well-being of patients, our community, and each other before you are done with your training. We are a big-hearted profession, and medical students represent the best of that spirit. When I look ahead, there are many challenges, but I also have great faith that we physicians will meet them well. Together, we care for our patients and each other. Together, we learn and grow. Even those of us with white hair thrive when we stay curious. Together, we advocate for our patients and our profession, and I hope you will join the Medical Society to add your much needed voices. Together, we can be both realistic and hopeful and make a lasting impact. I am grateful to have you join our community. When you graduate, I believe you will feel the way I do about my medical school classmates, that you trained with some of the best people you have ever met. So from the physicians of San Diego County, welcome, be safe, reach out for help, and to help each other, and enjoy your training. Being a physician is the most fulfilling thing I have ever done, and as you put on your white coats, I'm proud and grateful to call you colleagues.
Thank you, Dr. Yang, for your remarks. The class of 2024 will now be presented with their white coats. The members of our faculty who serve as academic community directors for our medical students will read the names and undergraduate institutions of the students in their community. We will proceed in alphabetical order according to the last name of the community director. Because the yellow academic community director is not currently available, the interim associate dean for undergraduate medical education, Dr. Mark Whitehead, will read the names for the yellow community. Our first academic community director represents the orange community. We have color coding the communities. Please welcome Dr. Joseph Chachi.
It's my honor to introduce the members of the Orange academic community. Colton Applegarth, University of Hawaii at Manoa. Shreya Banerjee, University of California, Los Angeles. Victoria Bird, University of California, Berkeley. Brannon Cha, University of Southern California. Kevin Din, University of California, Davis. Ashley Du, University of California, San Diego. Simran Gidwani, Georgia Institute of Technology. Victoria Groisberg, University of California, Los Angeles. Pierce Haldeman, University of Arizona. Arya Jahan, University of California, San Diego. Kat Kim, Columbia University. Alexander Liu, University of California, Davis. Christine Lin, University of California, Berkeley. Veronica Chow Lin, University of California, San Diego. Amy Liu, University of California, San Diego. Tan Luong, University of California, Los Angeles. Fat Mai, University of California, Los Angeles. Gutas Malki, University of California, Los Angeles. Raneem Mukatrin, University of California, Los Angeles. Joshua Olson, University of California, Santa Barbara. Jack Ryan, Georgetown University. Soraya Sadeghi, University of California, Los Angeles. Nicholas Wu, Santa Clara University. Sija Zhang, University of California, Berkeley. Now please welcome Dr. Jorge Fernandez, Director of the Green Academic Community.
Thank you, Dr. Taki. It is my honor to introduce the members of the Green Academic Community. Ravi Agarwal, University of California, San Diego. Sarah Al-Saman, University of California, Berkeley. Sophia Bilsma, University of California, Berkeley. Leah Howitt, University of California, Los Angeles. Jessica Kern, University of Southern California. Michael Loricella, Harvard University. Katya Lazar, Columbia University in the city of New York. Danny Lee, the University of California, Berkeley. Nathan Wandutu Magawit, Johns Hopkins University. Abian Mama Farah, University of California, Santa Cruz. Shivani Mehta, Johns Hopkins University. Sahit Nalani Menon, University of Southern California. Melody Nazarbegian, University of California, San Diego. Shritha Pendakanti, the University of California, Los Angeles. Priscilla Maria Perez, the University of San Diego. Dhruv Puri, University of California, Berkeley. Miranda Rasmussen, University of Oregon. Nicholas Rice, University of California, Los Angeles. Nicole Regler, University of California, Berkeley. Anna Lauren Rudin, Portland State University. Shamilka Senevaratna, Washington University, St. Louis. Zechariah Taman, University of Hawaii at Hilo. Connor Trim, California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Akhilesh Yaluru, University of California, San Diego. Now, please welcome Dr. Charles Goldberg, the Director for the Red Academic Community.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to introduce the members of the Red community. Alan Ong, California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Maddie Chakamakos, University of California, San Diego. Alice Elizabeth Cisneros, University of California, San Diego. Jessica De La Ripa, University of California, Los Angeles. Ryan Diggs, University of Nevada, Reno. Sydney Dong, University of California, Los Angeles. Shruti Durai, University of California, Berkeley. Eric E. Ellerin, University of California, San Diego. Leila Esfandiari, University of California, Berkeley. Suma Gudapati, University of California, Berkeley. Caroline Gutierrez, University of Florida. Christina Huyn, University of California, San Diego. Jason Leddy, University of California, Davis. David Mariano, Stanford University. Ian Matthews, Arizona State University. Anna Kyoko Michelle, Swarthmore College. Alexana Nathan, University of Hawaii at Manoa. Amanda Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. McKay Reese, Brigham Young University. Harrison Suh, Duke University. Now please welcome Dr. James Murphy, Director for the Blue Academic Community.
Thank you. It is my honor to introduce the members of the Blue Academic Community. Paul Michael Acosta II, University of Georgia. Harman Singh Bra, Loyola Marymount University. Sheridan Chappell, Vanderbilt University. Selena Chen, University of California, San Diego. Vina Doe, University of California, Davis. Kimberly Anaí Gonzalez Davalos, Johns Hopkins University. Henry Harita, Georgetown University. Brianna Irons, Brown University. Evan Jensen, Brigham Young University. Nanki Kaur, University of Virginia. Melina Lopez, Stanford University. Alyssa Martin, University of California, Santa Barbara. Monique Ortiz, University of California, Los Angeles. Justine Panyon, the University of Alabama. Dominique Patterson, the University of California, Los Angeles. Billy Peng, California State University, Fullerton. Kurt Pianka, Brown University. Samuel Polinsky, University of California, Berkeley. Umuhawa Rogers, California State University, Northridge. Jack Rohn, Vanderbilt University. Dennis Roth, University of California, Berkeley. Danielle Schur, University of Pennsylvania. Adriana Solis Cabello, University of California, San Diego. Jimmy Yu, University of California, San Diego. Now please welcome Dr. Lori Wan, Director of the Purple Academic Community.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to introduce the members of the Purple Academic Community. Wasim Abdu, University of California, Irvine. Alice Balalan, University of California, Los Angeles. Oye Bosambra, University of California, Los Angeles. Trevor Carter, University of Notre Dame. Kevin Chen, University of California, San Diego. Benton Shooter, Stanford University. Carmen Conroy, University of California, Berkeley. Gianna Cressy, Johns Hopkins University. Genevieve Taplitz-Kirchen, Tulane University. Manjari Daniel, University of California, Los Angeles. Matthew Donnelly, Cornell University. Quetzal Flores Ramirez, University of California, Berkeley. Grace Funari, University of California, Davis. Vince Hua, University of California, San Diego. Elizabeth Lee, Yale University. Jesus Lopez, University of California, Davis. Heather Leistad, University of Notre Dame. Amin Mahmoudi, University of California, Irvine. Tiffany Wen, University of California, Irvine. Lauren Ostrowski, Brown University. Nulafar Rodgudarzi, University of California, Davis. Rita Shrestha, Harvard University. Jin Su, Williams College. Brett Taylor, Fordham University. Now please welcome Dr. Mark Whitehead to introduce the Yellow academic community.
It is my honor to introduce the members of the Yellow community. Jessica Amaraj, Case Western Reserve University. Rhiannon Buchholz, Carnegie Mellon University. University of California, Davis. Morgan Desjardins, University of California, Davis. Austin Du, University of Pennsylvania. Liam Fitzgerald, University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Claudio Getty, University of California, Berkeley. Urvi Gupta, Stanford University. Austin Hainsworth, Yale University. Timothy Heinz, San Diego State University. Visesha Kukarla, University of California, Los Angeles. Karen Leung, University of California, Los Angeles. Gerardo Pedrosa, San Diego State University. Nicole Sun, University of California, Santa Barbara. Marianne Villarreal Gonzalez, University of Southern California. Hubert Vu, University of California, Irvine. Kendall Wallace Lang, Occidental College. Now, please welcome Dr. Kamagaluma back to the stage.
Congratulations, students. Dr. Linda Hill will now lead the medical students in the recitation of the Oath of Hippocrates. We invite any physicians watching to join our new students in this recitation.
2024, please rise wherever you are and join me in reciting the Oath of Hippocrates. By taking the oath now, you are publicly acknowledging your responsibility to the profession of medical doctor and your willingness to assume the obligations and responsibilities of your vocation. Please repeat after me. Now being admitted to the profession of medicine.
Now being admitted to the profession of medicine.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life in the service of humanity.
Solemnly pledge to dedicate my life of humanity.
I will give respect and gratitude to my deserving teachers.
I will give respect and gratitude to my deserving teachers.
I will practice medicine with conscience and dignity.
I will practice medicine with conscience and dignity. And I hope they're not there going.
The health and life of my patient will be my first consideration.
The health and life of my patient will be my first consideration.
I will hold in confidence all that my patient confides in me.
I will hold in confidence all that my patient confides in me.
I will maintain the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
I will maintain the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
I will not permit consideration of race, gender, religion, nationality, ideology, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will not
Consideration of race, gender, religion, nationality, ideology, or social standing between my duty and my patient.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life and its quality.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life and its quality.
Even under threat, I will not use my knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity.
Even under threat, I will not use my knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity.
These promises I make freely and upon my honor.
These promises I make freely and upon my honor.
You may be seated.
So thank you, Dr. Hill, and congratulations again for the wonderful honor and the example you set. Don't forget your award. That's up here on the podium. Dr. Savoya has some sadness today because, like a doting parent, she's always been the one to put on the white coats and give you a little pat on the back and usher you out into our new, or our world of medicine. So, Mia, I'm sorry, but they did a great job. And you and your staff and faculty, oh, wow. You had the match day, you had graduation, and now you've all put on this. I truly want to thank all the staff and faculty and those who organized this for all their dedicated work during the entire week of orientation, as well as for today's ceremony. But not just for that, but how hard they have worked during this pandemic to get you, all of you, as well as your classes, ready and safe for this week and the next year. And the planning they had to do for not just this, but for on-site and remote learning. It is a spectacular and grand effort from everybody. So congratulations, entering class of 2024. Welcome to the start of your career in medicine. As we close, please enjoy art pieces from the School of Medicine's art and literary journal, The Human Condition, while you listen to the ultrasounds, the School of Medicine's a cappella singing group. And thank you all for joining us.
Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on on your lips. Chant yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten.
I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. No, no.
Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Chant yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Chant yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten.